And there we are. All right. My voice is a little quiet. Let's try a little stronger. Okay. I'm going to speak above the sound of the heater right behind me. This is a good spot for the winter. Welcome to the channel. Hello, hello. My name is Margaret Pennard. I'm a historical fiction author and an eclectic reader. And most of the time I talk about the reading side, but today it's going to be a little chill and it's going to be the author side, but everyone is welcome. It's coloring therapy day, and I was trying to work this in at the end of December, and I just did not have the space. So it got shuttled to the end of January. And the important thing I wanted to do was I was looking for something creative as an outlet in December, and the lovely AuthorTube celebrity superstar Regina Duke has coloring books for creatives. So you can check out the link down in the description. But basically, she does this sort of abstract, fantastical art. This took me hours, y'all, and it's not even finished. So I have gotten very out of practice in coloring. And so obviously, I think I'll work on this one. But the way she set it up is pretty neat. She's got sort of parts of the process, the mess in the middle, how well I know it, and then abstract beings, plot holes, recovering from beta readers' comments, and I just love it. And the title for her coloring book, I think she has two, but the latest one that I got pages from is Abstract Coloring Book of Writers' Feelings. And I just think it very happily demonstrates the empathy from Regina and what we all might need, even if we're not writers these days. So I'm just going to have a chill session, do some coloring, think about things, and we could just chat if you're up for a chat, or read along if you're up for a read. So, hi, Julie. I hope you're feeling better. And hi, Alan. Evening over there across the pond. So, as I said, I did work on the dragon, which is just fantasy dragon. Like, who doesn't want a fantasy dragon, right? But this did take like hours and hours. A part of my issue, I think, is that I was using colored pencils. This is my little coloring pencil bag from when I was in primary school. All the years have gathered here. It used to be called Peggy. It's a nickname for Margaret. I also used these, which is what I got when I was trying to be fancy. I still have them. They have not been used very much, as you can tell. They're like 15, 20 years old. So this is how much coloring I have got done in my life. But also I'm going to deploy the marker collection that I have. So we'll see what the next one looks like, which is Balancing Story Elements. I had a little talk with Gareth. We were talking about writing stuff, and we're hoping to put together a live stream that will be about writing process, creative energies, sort of balancing the in and the out. But he's got a lot of stuff going on right now. And so I'm not sure when that will come down the pike, but I just thought I had a lovely conversation, a special time yesterday, a lovely conversation with the co-host of Climathon, and that is not about mountain climbing. It is about climate change. We're reading nonfiction and fiction books. You read one with the theme and you have participated in Climathon. And we were just chatting about all our previous favorites, the process that Tasman used to come up with her prompts, what we were hoping for this year. And yeah, so it was just really lovely. But it was not my usual time. And so today I'm just going to be a little lollygagger and do some coloring. So feel free to join in, and I'll just watch the chat. And you know what? I'm going to put some music on that probably won't get caught by the commercial license filter. We'll see. Hi, Jim. It's not a content-based content today, so We're just going to be coloring. And yeah. See, this is in the Climathon spirit, right? Because I don't need another one. This one works fine. There's no holes. I just didn't zip it properly, so it's sticking out there. Yeah, I'm gonna put on some music. Moving from St. John's College, Cambridge to King's College, Cambridge. Slightly different, but these are the sort of CDs I get for like bargain $3, $5. And I don't imagine their publishers will be looking on YouTube. We'll see. We'll see if I get tagged. We're starting out with Alleluia, so that's pretty funny. And if you want to share creations at the end of maybe 15 minutes, do that. I'm playing this on a CD player because I got tired of paying for Pandora. I am not on Spotify, and I missed physical media. There's sort of a trend that people are going back to physical media, and I'm not the ultimate Portlander in getting a record player, but I have kept stuff that I had before, like CD player and a cassette player. So I'm using those. I'm on the lookout for an artist that I found on TikTok who is called Gregory Alan Isakoff, and he has got some really cool, relaxing, chill music. He's on tour, but I don't go to live music. And I know Garrett's going to rip me a new one for that, but it's just not something that I do. The expense and the crowds and the noise, and I know it can be wonderful, but it's just not my thing. Theater is my thing. Maybe that's because you don't have people getting totally drunk and in your face theater too often. What do you think? So Jim says, I do a lot. My computer and internet is very lagging. I'm a little worried about that. I do a lot of drawing with my younger students, playing games like Pictionary. Oh, see, that's a good one for language learning. That's great. And Luna, hello, popping in from work before I leave for tonight. Are you going out for live music now that I've just said that I don't have the stomach for it? I'm gonna put some silvery blue in here, which is totally gonna clash because I am not an artist. I just like a silvery blue. Yeah, I would love to play Pictionary. I just don't have people to play Pictionary with. It's sort of a group activity. If I was really cool, like one of my AuthorTube friends, WriterSamWicker, she's got 2 angles. So when she does sprints for productivity, she's got the timer up because she's sharing her screen. And she's also got the Kona cam for her dog, which is the cutest. The dog laying on the cushion by her while she's working. I tried to do that once and it just totally messed the sound up and I couldn't figure it out. And that was the end of that. Wow, I'm using a lot of ink from this silvery marker. I used one of my Pilot G2s. No, take a break from that one. Red pens, one of these. And it wasn't that far, but when I opened it, there was still like that much ink left. And it wouldn't write for me. I felt very cheated, very annoyed. Thank you for pooping the like button. One of the other cool things that's going to be happening, hopefully doing a group tag with a bunch of us, because basically it'll be chaos, and chaos can be fun. Sometimes it is not, but it can be fun, especially with Booktube friends. I don't want to use terms that I'm not using correctly, but maybe you guys can help me with this. One of the things that I see people talking about doing calm, meditative activities, they say they're doing it to regulate. And I think they mean regulate their sort of fight or flight response, their nervous system. And so I put that in the description, but I'm hoping that's psychologically correct. I don't know. People who know more about it can correct me in the comment. I'm just using random colors because I am not an artist. I think people were looking at me weird when I was out walking yesterday. It was very cold. There was no one in the area I was in because it's sort of industrial / residential near the river. It's a really nice area when it's not so cold. But the few people I did see were like, why are you going down this random street that just has like a utility company? Because I was dressed so colorfully. I couldn't be like an engineer. I had an orange scarf and my green vest and my jeans and my turquoise sort of backpack. I don't know why adults don't think they can wear color. That's a silly rule. I do get self-conscious about wearing colors that mean certain things. Like, I don't know. Let me know if anyone else does this. Right now I'm wearing green and red. I don't think it's very Christmassy because it's got other colors in with it and it's a weave. But like wearing orange and black, it's a no-no. Wearing brown and yellow, associations with that one, that's out, even though the colors on the color wheel might be fine. That sort of thing is like, I don't like not having the freedom to choose those color combinations, but they send a message. Nope, we're going to go with purple. Julie says, I'm feeling a bit better, but oh my gosh, this illness really hangs on. It feels like I've lost the whole month. That's rotten. Mine was only like a week and a half maybe, so that's a bummer. Yeah, maybe it was one of those RSVs. Did you have to go get antibiotics? Did you find out what it was? I did not. My parents did, but or my dad did. Mom did not. So if we all got the same thing, I don't know what he got actually, but they gave him antibiotics. So can you guys even hear the music? I don't know if it's like helping or hurting, but so far. So do you adults in the room have coloring books in your houses? Did you succumb to the coloring book trend and try it out? Or no? Is this a thing that you left behind? Wrong one. Left behind years ago. There it is. Nope. Good to remind myself to breathe while I'm doing this. Another part of regulation, I assume. Maybe this thing will help unlock my dread of opening up the whip. I was telling Gareth I am no longer any obstacles between me and the whip. And so I've got to get back to rereading it and editing. And maybe I'll put happy little trees in. Who knows? Anyway, my thumbnail was just a fun trading on the Bob Ross. I never grew up with him. I think that was a few years before, or maybe I just didn't know Bob Ross. I was definitely a Sesame Street, Mr. Rogers, but maybe we just didn't have the channel. I don't know. Is this Bach or Haydn? What do you think? I'm rotten with composers, classical composers as well, so don't expect me to know what's what. Yeah, for someone who reads a lot, there's a lot of the arts that I've not been exposed to. Interesting. I guess we all have our biases, preferences, and that's just not an area where I've thought it's worth putting in all the effort. I'm sure I've just offended some of you, so I apologize. I never had too much music education. Maybe that's why I'm not as much into appreciating live music. Like, I love singing, but I can't sight read, can't recognize instruments. I really wish I could do that better. It's very dramatic classical music. Maybe not the best selection. But I like this music when I wake up. I put it on so that I have something not news to listen to for a little bit. That's not different enough. Let's see. Oh, I haven't used this in a long time. You get attached to different pens and then you save them up, and then when you try to use them, you realize, oh shit, it's dried up. It's a sign pen. This is one of the ones I got in Canada, I think. If I was selling loads of books, I could use it to sign and mail them out. Autograph. It's nice to have a good inky pen when you're autographing books. I don't want to waste that on the lots and lots of coloring, so let's try another one. Oh, Jim's got a rule. It states red and green should never be seen together. Interesting. We aren't sure why this rule exists. It may be that these colors are associated with the holiday spirit. It's interesting because it's also a stoplight. You would think if people did research before establishing the traditional stoplight, they would have concluded that they stand out or they're opposites or something. so that they do go well contrasting together. Or maybe they contrast too much. Lego is becoming more popular with adults for similar reasons, for like a calming activity. Interesting. What about puzzling? I mean, Legos, if you're just playing with Legos without aiming towards a specific model, I think that would be more creatively freeing up of energy. But if you're doing a model, I mean, my nephew attacks them and is like so focused. I'm working on a puzzle. I bought and broke it out. 1,000-piece puzzle yesterday. It's cats and books and plants. I know, so on brand. And it's called Perfect Nook. And it's pretty hard. It's 1,000-piece. So, I mean, it is pretty hard for one person, but at least it fits on my table. The last one I did that was that big had a hard time fitting on my kitchen table. But yeah, I've only got one outside side. And I think I'm getting away from the point. I think puzzling would be my version of Legos is what I meant to say, that I can leave it behind. It's not something that I'm like super focused on, like Legos, like my nephew. Julie says to Jim, I've also heard that, but slightly different. Orange and green must never be seen. Who knows why? Orange and green. Well, that's the Irish flag. And red and green is the Italian flag. Maybe they're xenophobes. Laura says, I think I've heard that saying referring to redheads who shouldn't wear green. What? Which is dumb anyway. That seemed, yeah, because that looks like really great, which is very silly. I think redheads were not supposed to wear pink. Did I hear that in the movie Annie? Like when I was a kid, redheads aren't supposed to wear red because it's orange and red. I don't know. Jim says, I have to check with my wife before I go out to make sure I am not guilty of too many fashion crimes. That's good. You've got a consultant on the books. That's good to have. You know, if you think about this in terms of covers and what attracts people's eyes to covers, getting back to the AuthorTube side, I think it's so individual, but apparently there are industry and market trends. So like they've worked it down to some kind of science. Or just, I think maybe if they just keep a lot of the covers the same, people will get confused. Oh, this is that one that I thought sounded really good. And it's like, it's just because everyone's doing the same style. Ooh, got a sparkly one. Use some of that. I think this is, nope, not. No, not a smelly one. It looks like it could be a smelly one. So a little note on getting older. One of the things I've noticed in the past year or so is that my upper middle back, so not lumbar, not cervical, whatever the middle one's called. I don't know why, but sometimes when I take a deep breath, I can feel that there's a pop. So I'm breathing so big in a hunched posture that it pushes out the back of my spinal cage, which is kind of weird, but I think it's helpful. So I don't worry about it. I try to do it actually. When I was a kid, I used to pop, 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 like a whole big string in my spine. And can't do that anymore. Only like once a month. I used to do that every day. Kids are weird, right? A lot of reverse Uno going on here. And we're 25 minutes in to the stream, maybe 15 minutes after I started. This is how far I've gotten. This is why it takes so long. I think it looks pretty cool. We've got a color palette going on here. There's some selection criteria going on. Getting high on pens. No, I was just trying to see if it was a smelly pen. Jim says a lot of the romantasy books have very similar covers. Yeah, a lot of fantasy trends tend to go in waves. Like there's titles, but then there's covers. I try to have like a primary color so people can say, oh, it's the orange book, or oh, it's the blue book, or oh, it's the green book. So, there's a primary identifying color for my covers, but a lot of the really pretty ones in fantasy and romance fantasy have lots of colors. And I do like the lots of colors, but that's just out of my depth, I got a couple more books I can share with you. I know people are putting up book hauls in January. I got Memory Police. Elaine and Leslie, our friends. Elaine is Cobalt Dragon, speaking of fantasy dragons, and Leslie is Books, Gers, and Purrs. They had 2 discussions on this, I think one in December and one just a few days ago, and how interesting. So it was in the back of my mind to get it, and then I have credit at a bookstore that closed, and so I wanted to get the books that I might be interested in. And I put this on my wish list, Hospicing Modernity, because of the podcast Planet Critical. It just seemed really good. Speaking of color therapy, Vanessa Machado de Oliveira, and this would be a great Climathon read as well. Facing humanity's wrongs and the implications for social activism. So I'm pretty excited to read that. Not sure if it'll be a heavy read or like a really validating one. What's this? Oh, this might have dried up. This is a long time ago. Oh no, it's pretty. Royal blue. Oh, speaking of royal blue, I put it on TikTok, but I have not yet downloaded it, uploaded it to YouTube. I saw someone on TikTok mention that they heard people were putting Minnesota state flags in their windows or, wherever on their person. And she wanted to see more people doing that because it was just a good feeling of other people thinking of them and supporting them. And I thought, oh, I don't have any friends in Minnesota, but I can definitely have visibility, solidarity. Ooh, nope, that's, oh my gosh, look at this. I have a wet erase. This is for overhead projectors. And so I looked around. I did not have any blue paper to contribute. So I went down to the art store and then I got my royal blue and I got my sky blue, which is the Minnesota state flag colors. I knew I had plenty of white. Didn't need to worry about that. But came back. It was kind of funny because carrying a big old thing of paper rolled up, you kind of look like you're carrying a sword. So I got to carry a sword on my couple miles home, which is fun. And then I cut it out and made like a little video about putting it up on my window. So, yeah. I don't have an actual flag. I don't want to order an Amazon flag to order. So I just made one out of paper. And at first, I made a 6-sided star for Judaism because I didn't count the points. And then I had to do it over to get the 8-sided star, which is the one on their flag. So it's a fun craft project. It was another meditative activity because, we need them these days with how much is going on to upset our nervous system and our feeling of the world being okay. So this is another, it's not a sniffy one, but it is a sparkly pink. So, can't go wrong with that. Ooh, okay. I got a calligraphy one, calligraphy marker, pure violet pigment ink. Let's see if it's got any left over. It's an old one too. Oh, no, it's a little sketchy. Oh. Let me see if the big side is any better. It's 2-sided. Oh, no, it's worse. Boo. Okay. I'm going to throw that one away. Another purple here. Sorry, I just went back to coloring instead of talking. But yeah, Climathon, Minnesota State flag, walking around with a sword, walking around with 2 colorful clothing. That's been my last couple days. I like how these look like little snow-covered mountains. The AuthorTube side of this I could follow up with as well. I finished my mom's letters, and I did not realize this, but apparently when I was 3, I went to the Tyrolean highlands of Austria and Italy. So this is what I'm seeing in this abstract coloring thing is the Alps with snow-topped mountains. I think it's like an owl at the top, and then it's the Alps with snow underneath so far. Kind of Rorschach testy, if you want to push it that far. So Laura said, pretty, thank you. Hey, JC, nice to see you. Jim says, cars are such boring colors these days. You know, my mom says this about once a week, if not more. She is similarly disappointed with the auto industry. Black, gray, silver, white. In the 70s, cars were more colorful. And, you know, I do see every once in a while like a bright blue or turquoise or green or orange or purple, which is pretty neat. But I think it's more expensive now because they just want to streamline the colors and you have to pay extra. They don't come in different colors. That's what I understand. Bright green, right? So you can find it in a freaking parking lot. Otherwise, it just gets lost. Hi, Leslie. I'm at work trying to find new ways to dissociate. Thankful to see you live. Well, you know, I've got coloring pages to dissociate. So actually, it's not dissociating because that's, again, I don't know the real terms, but dissociating, as I understand it, is like leaving your body, right? Something is going on that you can't handle. So you sort of push away and your mind retreats and you sort of go to a safe space in your mind. And that's what we're trying not to do. We're trying to stay in and like process things. I'm talking through it. I'm chatting with you as I color here with these different. What's this one? That's blue that I use. I thought I had a green one. Maybe not. Sky blue color. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know the real terms. I'm not a doctor. So take it with a big grain of salt. Jim says, when I drove my cars, they were when I drove, my cars were either red or blue. Haven't driven since 2010. Oh my gosh. Getting high on pen sounds good to me. I do love the smell of inks and paints. Oh boy. Yeah, well, be careful when you spray paint. Marion at Writer in Rwanda, fellow author on YouTube, she's been having trouble with the chemicals that are in her neighborhood because there's shops that are spray painting and sawing and carpentering and all that stuff. And she can see it come over the fence. And she's like, this is not good for my asthma and the cat's asthma. Oof. So do be careful. JC says, what are you coloring with? Because I'm trying to figure out what to color with that's not going to bleed through the pages. Am I bleeding through the pages? It's a good check. No, not really. Balancing story elements is on the other side. The way Regina has this set up, and you may not have caught the beginning, JC, these are Regina Duke's pages. And I put a link to Regina's Ko-fi, as well as the link to buy the coloring book on Total. But the coloring book is called Abstract Coloring Book of Writers' Feelings, which I love because it's not dissociating, it's processing. And what I'm using, it does not have a brand on it. It's so old, it is not branded. Some of them, the smaller tip ones, are Pentel. But again, this is my roving marker collection of 30 years. So there's nothing too organized. Some of them are newer, but yeah. It's just whatevs. Ooh, this is not sky blue. This is a royal blue. You know, when they trick you with the marker cap color and you don't use them a lot, it's a little like Betrayal. This is not sky blue. Look at that. Okay, so look at the cap color. That's sky blue, right? Robin's egg blue. And then this is what it comes out as, which looks a lot more like royal blue. Anyway, I'm just finding fault. That's fine. You guys know what's going on this weekend? Let's see. The 30th is a general strike. No working, no shopping, no school. If you're supporting the folks in Minnesota in that way. But Saturday is the 31st, and I'm going to use that to be the kickoff. So if anyone has participated in the Black Author Tuber Readathon, Black Author Tuber Readathon in the past, wants to come on and gab about how great our Black Author Tuber friends are, like JC in the chat, you can come on. I can send you the link. You can come on and we can chat. I just want to have a little party vibe on Saturday night. So 6 p.m. for me, 9 p.m. Eastern is what I'm going with. And I'm waiting for Beth Ann to say yay or nay. But then is when I'll be dropping the calendar graphic and just some like fun little things for February's readathon. Because it'll be like Readathon Eve. I don't know if that's going to carry over if people get excited about it, but I hope so. See, this is more like what it came out as. You think the caps got switched? Let's see. Nope. This one's more blue. That one was more green. Betrayal. How many of you guys think I'm going to get in trouble for playing this music? It's not calming, but the one I had for calming yesterday was Fleet Foxes, and they probably will have a... Someone's graduating. Someone just got their graduation wings. Because how are you going to know whose production of a famous classical song it is? Who's going to know? They're going to know. How are they going to know? I'm making myself laugh with memes. I'm sorry if you don't understand the reference. They're going to know. But it's a fun one. I need a red. I need like a maroon. Do I have a maroon? No, just in a pen. Not going to work. I guess I will go to colors and pencil. See if I have a maroon. Not in my fancy art pencils when I thought I would be so cool. See if I have them in my other. It's like pink. Look at that. It's vintage, super color, Swiss made, Garandage, whatever that is. I don't know. Swiss made pencils. Imagine how long ago that is. Orange. Oh, and these are from when I was a kid. These are Crayola, but like mechanical, because that was cooler, because you're using more plastic and destroying the earth. But you would finish with one nub, and then I think you would take out and like push the new one in, or the opposite way. But you get what I mean. Like that. This is red. I'm gonna try the red. Then I'll try the. Got some carpenter pencils in there. We'll see how it goes. I got 20 more minutes for our usual hour space, and we'll see what I end up with. What are you guys working on? Are you at work? Am I stopping you from reading? What are you guys working on? Or are you just working on regulating your nervous system like I am? That would be quite an accomplishment. Try to walk every day. Try to eat healthy. I've been on a wheat berry kick, kind of like farro, but wheat berries. It's not helpful if you're gluten-free, but it is a different grain than just processed wheat. Well, it's a very soft red, so it's not clashing with the pink and purple, but it's also not giving me magenta. But that's fine. That's fine. Oh, there's a little blanket cave now because Bean got out of his cozy little blanket burrito. I was going back. He's so funny. He's 14 or 15 this year. It's 10 years since I had him. Isn't that crazy? 10 years, buddy. 10 years. He's been good to me. He's been good for me, I think. I was journaling last night and I realized I'm doing pretty good on my winter quarter curriculum already. You guys doing any of those kinds of personal curriculum goals? I know some of y'all authors, Sky, Stephanie, have super goals. JC probably does as well. Good goal setter. I am trying to do just 3 at a time. That's all I can remember. That's all you can remember when you go to the grocery store without a list. So that's all I'm going to try in my 2-month winter quarter. But it's starting off good. Social Activism Unit 2. I'm going to NET for my certification, help out my neighbors. And I signed up for another session with Taking Ownership PDX, which helps people declutter, beautify their homes, keep up their home maintenance, so they don't get fines. And I invited neighbors over for potluck last weekend, and that was a success. I liked what I made. I liked what the other 2 gals made, and we had a nice little chat, like an hour and a half. So we got another one set up for next weekend. Just passing it on, right? Just like witnessing people's mental states and wanting community. Yeah, that's not perfectly filled out. That's fine. Catching up here. Oh my God, I love driving. I can't imagine going that long without driving. Well, when you have a good rail system, JC, your world changes. Yikes. Laura says, I can't even drive. I am not a good adult. Different circumstances. Yep. I saw the link. It's in my cart. Yay. Okay, cool. Looks sky blue to me. Oh, all right. I think that was for the goal building comment, or maybe the kickoff. If you want to come to the kickoff, support other Black authors on YouTube, let me know. I'll send you a link. We could just chat Saturday night. Leslie says, you're so silly. I don't know what that's for because I do a lot of silly things. Cajon d'Ache is a fancy brand. Oh, okay. It's a brand name. Thank you. Yep. Bean. He's back in the blanket. JC says, I hate public transportation, so that would not make a difference to me. Oh, boy. Well, I just look at it as not only is it better for the environment not to be an individualized transport, but I don't have to think about things. I can do my own shit. I can read. I can listen to music with earphones on, which is illegal if you're driving. I can talk on the phone. I can play a game. I don't know, play chess with a person across from me. It just frees up my hands, frees up my brain. Someone else is responsible, which I prefer. This sounds like sleigh ride, but it's not. I don't know what it is. I got some library books. You guys visited the library lately? Had a library haul to celebrate? That's fun. In case you were not here, I don't think there were many people at the live yesterday, but I can share it. Not started these 3 yet, but it's a Marie Kondo book, which I don't know if it'll be too popular with authors on YouTube. Marie Kondo saying, stick to about 30 books as a guideline. Nope. Nature is Never Silent, which is about how plants and animals and mycelium networks communicate with each other, which I think would be really cool. My mom really liked the Mother Tree book, which is a subset of this, I think, but different context, I think. And then the Mourner's Bestiary, which is about different regions, like a bay or a lake, and the animals that live in them. Long Island Sound, Monhegan Island, Sea of Stars, Gulf of Maine, Monhegan Island. So we've got whales, crabs, oysters, copepod, which I just read about, is a very important organism. It eats tiny single-celled organisms, but it lives like 100 meters below the surface, and it comes up at night to feed. And the constant going up and coming down helps mix the nutrients at the surface with the life in the depths. So anyway, copepods. I'm learning a little bit more about science through the Climathon read. Do you guys have any books that would fit any of the prompts? They're pretty wide ranging, so you got lots of different chances. So yeah, I'm gonna have Black Author Tuber Readathon February going on, Climathon going on, and I gotta start getting ready. Not yet, maybe March. Getting ready for Agitation August. If anyone's interested in being a guest and has a book they want to talk about, let me know. Yeah, JC says driving is a sort of freedom for me, and it allows me to clear my mind better. I blast the music in the car. No earbuds needed. Yeah, it's very, very teenager energy to me. I like that memory. Marie Kondo is interesting to me, the hype around her anyway, but I'm definitely not a minimalist, so I've never read her. Yeah. She's not a minimalist either. Yeah. What's interesting is that this book is sort of a expansion of the philosophy behind organizing and the energy of things. So a little bit like feng shui, which is Chinese, but just admitting or allowing for the existence of things affecting us that we don't control, and just making provision for that, saying, okay, I have had several dresses in my closet underneath other things on hangers for years that I haven't worn. Why am I hanging on to them? It's holding me back. Like, I'm not going to wear that tomato red dress. It was really cute, but it's not something I would wear anymore. So I just put it on the stack to let go of. And like this constant, like, it's just taking up room on the hanger. It's just making like a puddle on top of the dresser. So like, what's the deal? Why am I hanging on to it? Gotta practice letting go of things that don't serve me, you know? Ooh, there's a pink one. Okay, I'll use I like these. These are Pigma brush. Archival ink. It's basically the calligraphy tip, so it's like a bit more like a paintbrush. I like working with that one. Oh, really? Usually when I hear people talk about her, that's the first thing they say, is that she's a minimalist. So maybe I've heard some misinformation. I think people group it together without really understanding the difference. That's my view. Like, when I hear minimalism, I think of those like two dude bros who are like sort of imitating Obama's thing about deciding what to wear each day, but then taking it further of being like executive mindset, friction in your life. And I'm like, I could take some wisdom from that without going so extreme. I don't think Marie Kondo goes extreme. I think she just wants you to be thoughtful about your stuff. Ooh, I do have a maroon, but it's just a pen. Okay, these are some cool pens. Wait, this is a Pilot G2. Cat Paw, if they come, will know that I'm referencing this one, which is a ballpoint, and it's a maroon color. But I did pick up these Sarasa, which are zebra. I don't know. They have a line of vintage colors, and this like bronze goldy beige is very hipster, is very Portland as a color. It doesn't really belong on this, so I'll save it for a different one. But this maroon does. It's just not very much. Oh, so after this stream, guys, I'm gonna actually have to go into the whip. Pretty. I love a good pen. Hey, Laura. Laura loves a good pen. I know. Yes. Nice to see you. Let's see. Yeah, let's do some more orange. Laura actually knows how to draw and probably color match. I do not. I just like the colors that I have. So I will wind up this color therapy session, hoping that you guys have taken a deep breath or had a chance to go stretch or just let go of some tension that you're holding to sound like a yoga teacher. I came across another book, C.S. Harris, book that I got from the library, where it was 2 sentences, but it definitely was, he let go of a breath. He didn't know he'd been holding it. I was like, oh, why? Everywhere, every time. What is this? It's a conspiracy. It's definitely a conspiracy. So yeah. So Regina's got this great coloring book, and she sent me these pages when I was talking about author stuff in December. And that is the result of my 40 minutes of color therapy. I like it. It's for the balancing story elements prompt. So yeah, that helped me, and it was a nice chill stream. Because yesterday was like really substance heavy. I have not worked on it since last March, JC. Laura says I'm about to clean myself up so I can do a live stream in an hour going over all my whips. Oh my God, it's going to be a monster. 113 slide presentation. Oh my goodness. That's probably going to be one to take in installments. Woo, yes. Yeah, Sky does the same thing. A lot of people have a lot of projects. I can't ever balance that many. It's awesome. Laura says, I do like to color. Yeah. And release the bad vibes and inhale fresh air. Exactly. Cycle that shit out. Woo. The fanfic sentence. Except this is a traditionally published historical mystery. So there you go. It's so funny. Thank you. Fab and groovy. Yeah, I think the color palette's definitely gone the way of groovy. So maybe this is my author stream for the month. Maybe I will do a check-in with Gareth, and maybe I will look at it, face the music today, and have something more to report. I'm trying to be real like standoffish in terms of reporting in, because I think that just makes me feel worse when I just say, I got 6 more chapters done in the last 3 weeks. And if I don't say anything, I just say, I'm working on it. Like, I'm working on it. So that's good. But then I don't feel like grading myself harshly. JC says, oh, well, it just needed space to breathe, Margaret. That's okay. Yes. Yeah. 2025. 2025 shit show. Who said they were balanced? My work ethic is follow the muse. Nice. It looks like an owl. Well, I mean, it's abstract. So the top looks like an owl, but then you've got the Alps that I colored in with snow. And then, I don't know, what are the ovals? They look a little bit like agates, maybe, like sliced agates. And then you've got little pyramidal crystals. It's all fun. It's all fun stuff. So thank you to Regina Duke for inspiring the coloring session. And yeah, I hope you guys have, whether it's puzzling, whether it's Legos, whether it's coloring, something to turn to when you need to take a breath, regulate that nervous system, take a deep breath, and maybe that will help with your creative endeavors and pursuits. Ooh, oval shields. Okay, well, that's a step up from agates. Yeah, that's good, Laura. Oh, so thank you guys for sticking around, just like having a chat and observing and putting up with the Bach and the Haydn in the background. Again, we will see if we get nicked for that and I have to mute the music or the whole stream. That would be interesting. Maybe I'll get the captions and then I'll just mute myself. So if people are really curious, they can watch it and read the captions. Anyway, I told you guys about the kickoff this Saturday evening, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. So DM me if you want to jump on and just talk about great Black author tubers books. What other events, announcements? Laura's got a live stream coming up. Stephanie is live right now all day, I believe. So is SD Houston, I think, and many others. I don't keep track of the spreadsheet anymore, but if you've got things coming up, drop a link. Let me know. Let us know. Have a lovely day to you too, Leslie. I think the music is low enough, hopefully. Good. Because whenever I try the copyright-free background music, it like interferes. It cuts out my voice because of the way the speaker on the laptop is, because I don't have like an actual microphone set up, because that's too pro for me. Yeah. But do what you need to take care of yourselves, guys. Lads, gentle folk. And yeah, that's me for today. We've been together for the hour, and that's kind of what I intended, and we have executed. So excellent. Music does sound lovely. Leslie's got a live stream Friday at 10 a.m. which is tell us what it is. And oh my goodness, this is so old. It's got the wrong thing on here. Sundays and Wednesdays are no longer my stream days. It's Wednesdays and Fridays. But today it's going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday. You never know with me. I'm always dodging and weaving. What can I say? Oh, the Marigold. Okay, so one of the books for the readathon. Excellent. Cool. It's in my watch later list. It keeps saying upcoming. So thank you. It's Friday morning. Excellent. All right. Thanks, everybody. Let me know if you have coloring results and send them to me. DM me on Instagram or wherever, and we can enjoy each other's fab and groovy work product. Don't call it that. All right. Take care, everyone. Be safe out there.